editing job 1. Your job 1 should look different than mine in terms of you've changed all of the colors of his ears, his pants, and his shoes. I just have the original pictures here. So we're going to look at deleting the background here, because right now if I took this picture and I pasted it into Microsoft Word, I would have this white background all around Mickey, and I don't really want that. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to wipe out the background. Remember, you should be using your Mickey and Minnie and other Mickey and the Mickey Mouse Club that have already been edited. I just have the original photos just to make it a little easier. So let's start off by getting rid of all of this white. So it's very, very easy to do. All you need to do is click on what we call our layer. So this is our first and only layer in this because there's nothing else going on in this picture. It's literally just Mickey. So let's right click on this and we are going to go to Add Alpha Channel, which basically just means we're going to make this thing be able to be transparent. So I'm going to click Add Alpha Channel. Perfect. Now I just need to go ahead and delete all of this white stuff here. So I'm going to use my magic wand, click on this, and notice how it clicks and selects pretty much all of the white around Mickey. And now I'm just going to click Delete on my keyboard. Boom. And now I get this gray, which is perfect because that means it is transparent. So I just want to clean up the little parts underneath his arm. And we'll delete that. And between his legs, and we'll delete that. And I think that looks good. So now what I want to do is I want to resave this as my PNG. So I'll go to File. I want to export as, and perfect. I have my job 1. I'm going to just make it a PNG instead. Yours should automatically have this. I just have my JPEG out. So I'm going to change it to a PNG, hit export. This thing is going to pop up and we'll hit export. And that one's done. So now if I went to job 02, we'll do the exact same thing. We're going to right click on it. We're going to add alpha channel and then I can just go through and start deleting stuff. So click that out and then I just want to clean up all of these little pieces in between. So that little piece right there. And I think for the most part, that looks pretty good. It will be easier on yours because this is already colored in, so you'll be able to see the parts that are not. So this part as well probably needs to go, and now that's looking pretty good. Okay, so I'll do the same thing. I'll go to File, Export As. I'm going to just make sure it's a PNG, so I'll change it to my PNG right there. Perfect. Hit Export. Icon's going to pop up, and we're good to go, and we can do the same thing for Minnie over here. So this one, I haven't added an alpha channel. So if I click on it and I try to hit delete, nothing is happening, not so good. So I want to right click, add my alpha channel, and now if I click delete, boom, she's gone. Problem though is take a look at her hand. So we are going to have to touch that up, and that is a little bit of a pain. So let's go ahead and work on that. So I'm going to go to select, I'm going to go to none, and we'll try that again. So now let's make my threshold. Remember, we can always drop my threshold. I'm going to change it to 25. Let's see if that works. And now I'll try hitting delete again. Oh, the hand's still gone. So let's bump it down a little more. Let's bump it down to 15. Click on it and delete. Hand's still gone. And let's try even at 1. Is that going to work? Uh-oh, hand's still gone. So let's try to figure out why that is happening. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. And if you take a look, there's some breaks in her hand. So it's very difficult for the computer to interpret that differently. So what can we do here? Well, there are a couple things we can do. Let's see if we can take this a couple different ways. I'm just going to try to actually reconnect this part in our hand and see if that works. If that does, we're in really good shape. It's a little bit of a nice cheating way of doing it, but for our purposes, might work out really well. There are some other ways. Hopefully we won't have to get into that. Let's take a look and see if this works. So let's just reconnect. Oh, I don't want to make her hand blue. Let's just make it black. And we are good to go. So that should do a pretty good job for us. All right, now let's use our magic wand tool. Try that again. Let's zoom out for a second. So we'll go to View, Zoom. We'll go 1 to 1. Perfect. And now we'll hit delete again. And look at that. Connecting that up showed our computer that they are two different objects. So that looks perfect to me. Now we'll export that So we'll export as our PNG. Export, perfect, and we only have one more to go. And now we want to get rid of just this background here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to right-click, add our alpha channel, and we'll start picking out all of these spots. Oh, my threshold's 1 right now. Let's set that back up to 15, and hopefully that does a better job. Yep, that looks good. We'll clean all this up in here, get that gone, get that little piece gone, yep. And nice. So that should do a pretty good job. Export it as a PNG. And now what we want to do is we're going to move to the PowerPoint portion. So I will do that in a separate video for you. So this is how to make your backgrounds transparent.